What's going on, guys? It's Can Player here, and today we are back with another F123 video. Today we are starting our actual series on F123.
This is where you can view our current facilities and the effects they're having on the business. You can also invest some of our cash into upgrades for these facilities.
So since we started with the worst team on the grid, we have not a lot of upgrades. As you can see, 6 powertrain, because we did pick the Honda power unit or Red Bull powertrains power unit, and the rest had very few other than the when we answered the interview questions, we also got a couple upgrades, but because we picked the worst car slash team on the grid, we don't have any a lot of team upgrades.
It's important to use the time between races to the fullest extent, and that's where these activities come in. Manage everyone's time as efficiently as possible to maximize the team's performance.
Now we can, by going with focuses here, we can get morale up, which will help us, I believe, well, it gives us more research points, but it also will, I think, make stuff go by faster. The department will work faster. I decided to go for the merchandise sale just because of we have no money. We have 600k in the bank right now, which is nothing in terms of F1. So I thought I'd try to get that up. And yeah, just kind of going through the screens here, trying to remember how to use the buttons on my new steering wheel. So not a lot going on, but we are just gonna quickly, hopefully here, go through. Here's my teammate, Enzo Fittipaldi. I didn't go with the teammate upgrade because we'll probably only have him this season.
This is the driver market. From here you can see pertinent details on every driver in the sport, compare them with each other and add them to your watch list. When the contract negotiation window rolls round, this is where you'll approach any drivers you wish to hire.
I don't think we'll be able to afford Michael Schumacher at all in the next season or two, but it would be nice to drive against him on our team eventually here. But yeah, so we're just going to go into the car upgrades here. If you guys haven't liked and subscribed, make sure to do that. Also, I'm going to be uploading at least 3 times a week, hopefully. So make sure to check out those videos. And yeah, I have a couple series going on right now. Our ARC Let's Play series, as well as this My Team Career Mode series. I'm also thinking about doing CSGO 2 when it comes out. I'll probably have highlights or something on, or just games that I thought were good and should go through. As you can see, I'm doing the upgrades here. I had enough for the one chassis upgrade and also the piston upgrade for power. As you can see, aerodynamics are not our strong suit, but c'est la vie. We will move on with our lives. Just double checking here that I couldn't do any more upgrades, but I believe I could do an arrow one. Actually, yeah, so there's the arrow one, that the beam wing. As you can see, we're kind of near the bottom for performance, the 3rd worst team. But with those upgrades, we might be moving up to a little higher. We're just going through qualifying here. This is our first lap of Q1. As you can see, I have racing line in the corners on, and also I have gear shifting up and down. But I am using the manual shifting and manual ERS. Not during quali, but yeah. Not a bad turn 1. Bahrain is a track that I usually don't do too well on. Little miss of the apex there, not a big deal. Our car is one of the worst cars on the grid, so we should be near the bottom of the timetable, as well as me not being a great driver. Again, missed the apex by a little bit there. Not as bad as the first one, but this is a very important turn. Not the fastest, but I definitely kind of nailed the racing line there, not horribly. Now we downshift to fourth gear. Keep going, probably a little slow on that. You'll see in the race had a couple issues in that turn as well. Down into fourth gear, missed the apex completely again. Going into the final turn, a little bit of traffic up ahead, but not really gonna be an issue for us. Missed the apex there a little bit too, but wasn't completely horrible. And we're up into fourth right now, but we're a second, 1.3 seconds off the pace. So it's not a good look. We'll have to try to do our second lap here, and I tried to go for it here, but I realized I wasn't going to have enough ERS, and I was already behind. The tires weren't doing great after one lap either. So, but you can see I did so bad on the first lap that I did gain time in that corner. But right here I lost so much time. Then gained more back. So again, I was missing apexes. Yeah, ultimately I realized once I made a big mistake here, right here I lost 2/10. Almost 4/10 up, but I did end up making more and more mistakes as the tires were wearing out a little bit more, and I did end up losing all the time that I gained back here. And actually, it ended up being just a lap around the track to get into the pits. Unfortunately, because it would have been nice to get another lap down with a little bit lower fuel, but not enough ERS, and I just ended up pitting at the end of this lap. Out for our next lap. I am warming up the tires a little bit here. Kind of nailed the apex there. Little early on turn in, but we got to make sure we get enough speed to get to the line here. Already down on my first time, but the first straight is not really where the money is made. It's always the corner. Obviously, totally messed up that first turn and just absolutely ruined my lap. And there's only 47 seconds left by the time I messed up there. So obviously not going to gain 5 seconds back this lap, and that's the end of my qualifying, just like that. So we're gonna move on to the race here, and yeah.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. We go racing today around the 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Russell, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Stroll, Norris, Ocon, Bottas, Albon, Verstappen, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Joe, Magnussen, Sargent, De Vries, the scientist, Fittipaldi, the scientist. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as once again we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
As you can see, we are starting very far back here on the grid. P20 ahead of our teammate though. Let's see how we get on. Lights out and away we go. Honestly, not a bad start. The AI, we're definitely losing me there. I almost get squished off the track here, but I just send it down the inside. I definitely touch with Bottas there. He gets his elbows out, but I get ahead of him, or I get pushed out wide because of him. And same with Verstappen, he just dummies me and goes by. But from P20 to P11 off the draw here with all these cars that are faster than me, as you can see, Verstappen pulling a huge gap already. And honestly, I wasn't feeling it on this high fuel load. And I knew I was going to drop places back. It was just about whether or not I could hold on to the places as long as I could. But again, the high fuel, the setup that I didn't spend very long on the setup during quali, so it kind of messed up what the race could have been. And obviously I didn't do any of the actual practice, so it definitely would have helped to find a better setup. But I just wasn't really feeling confident with any of this, and as you can see, I'm losing so much time through the corners to Verstappen ahead, and Piastri is right up my gearbox, missing apexes left and right. Piastri gets by us here, and I just try one more final send just to try to keep him behind, but all these guys are probably going to get in front of us here, so I'm just trying to hold on the best I can. Little deep on that, but honestly wasn't a bad turn at all.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your own.
Just trying to stay ahead of Piastri here, but again, Piastri's in a much faster car, and he's a much better driver than I am, so not a lot I could do. Just trying to hold him off. I found this corner specifically was the corner I was worst at taking the whole race. Not sure exactly what happened to. I'm not sure exactly who that was, but somebody definitely crashed. I think it might have been Sonoda, if I remember correctly, by the. Yeah, Yuki Tsunoda. Yeah, by the DNF screen at the end of the race, but yeah, kind of crazy. I pulled a gap to Piastri here because of that. I think he got caught up in it. So kind of happy about that. But I just, again, I keep missing these apexes, not feeling comfortable with the car at all, and definitely showed throughout the rest of the race here. Lewis Hamilton also out of the session, which is crazy because he was had the fastest lap. He was right up there with the best of them. Yeah. There I am, I just go too wide and I open up the door to Stroll, who just zooms by me. He brakes a little early there, kind of caught me off guard, and instead of having almost a 2-second gap to Piastri, I just totally lost the space I had behind me. As you saw right there, I totally bottled that first corner again, just like I did in qualifying. Almost the exact same instance happening. Just got on the power a little too early after overcooking it in the corner, and I totally lost my the space I had behind. I was pretty happy. I guess not really. I was pretty content with how I was doing. I wasn't losing time to the people behind me for about 2 laps there, I'd say, after Stroll passed me. But after that, after I messed up turn 1, it just, everybody was passing me. Joe passed me, Debris passed me. I get Joe back here only because I had DRS from Debris still. But yeah, like I said in qualifying, this corner right there, I just felt so slow compared to the AI here, and just missing apex after apex. It really wasn't going well for me. Totally dumping all my ERS just to try to get back into the DRS range of Debris. Go off track here, and of course Joe just zooms by me here with the DRS. I get him back going to the corner, but I also go wide and get switch backed. I do, however, give him DRS back, so he almost passed me again going into the next set of corners here, but again missing the apex, trying to go defensive, and then just unfortunately this corner is just the bane of my existence this race here. As you see behind me on the mini-map, there's a train forming behind me of the rest of the cars. Other than Fittipaldi, who has somehow ended up super far back. He's fighting against Logan Sargent, it would seem. So not really great debut for either of the rookies this season. On to lap 7 here.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 13.
Get passed by
0.8
Joe
seconds.
again, as well as Magnussen here. I try to slow down, and I slow down way too much to hit that corner and do a switchback, and almost immediately lose all the pace that I had. And luckily there's a 1.5 second gap to Hulkenberg behind, but again, not a lot of speed coming from my side of the garage or Enzo's side, which means the car just isn't there, and neither are the two of us. Another corner and another overtake for Hulkenberg. I decided to dive down the inside here. Kind of a last-ditch effort. I did get DRS out of that though, so I do end up being able to keep the position by also using some overtake. And I get to keep the position going into turn 1. But of course, Albon, who's fighting Hulkenberg right now, is also going to get DRS. I'm lucky enough that they're fighting that I build a little bit of a gap to the two of them, but I have a little moment. And of course, Albon in the new soft tires just goes right by me, and there's nothing I can do about it. And I'm sure Hulkenberg and Sargent are going to be coming by pretty soon here. Another little moment, not a great showing for me, but this is also my first time doing a full race distance, or I guess a 50% race distance with traction control off. So as the season goes on, when I've raced at a bunch of different circuits here, we'll see that I'm getting better and improving. I also haven't played a lot of F1 games. My first game was F1 21, and then F1 22 I didn't play a lot of because the traction was just god-awful, and even with traction control on, I just wasn't competitive, so I just didn't play it a lot or enjoy it. So just a lot of understeer in that corner, going out past the line, and of course Logan Sargent is gonna get DRS on this straight too.
Try to stay with it. We might make a mistake. We
But,
can still regain
or I guess
position.
not. I guess I got it. He must have just passed me right before the line. So I get him back here. Obviously, he's going to get DRS on the next straight, but I do get the car stopped for turn 1. Not the greatest hitting of apex for either of the first 2 turns, but we did pull a slight gap back to Logan Sargent. Which is, you know, not helped by us missing yet again another apex, and another apex, and missing one more apex. I wish I probably just should start counting the amount of apexes I've hit. Probably less of a number. So. That was not bad. But of course, I have a little moment there, and Logan Sargent with overspeed and DRS does just go whizzing by me. There's nothing I could do. Hulkenberg is still trying to go up our inside. Ahead of us, Albon's already pulled a 6-second gap, and yeah, it's not been going well for us since the first lap where I dive bomb half the grid. It's just been going slowly downhill from there, so not a lot we have been able to do about that. Decided to try to keep ahead of Hulkenberg here with the help of DRS to Logan Sargent. I was able to do that. Now, I didn't mean to dive bomb Logan, but he was braking really early, so I kind of messed it up. So I had to just go for it. And I, of course, didn't get the car stopped, but I didn't crash into him either. So that was a positive. Hulkenberg just sends it up our inside, almost hits us, but we managed to keep the position.
Okay, be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now.
Just get on the power a little too early, and of course,
Okay, mate, we might need to look at a new race strategy.
right after
I've
the
got some
radio
options for you,
message
so go and check your MFD. VSC deployed. The virtual safety car has been deployed. We need to keep a positive delta here.
right after the
Slow
message
down
of
and
us
maintain a
about to
positive
lose
delta.
grip,
Caution,
of course we
virtual
crash.
safety car's just been deployed to build up of debris on the track.
Lucky enough for us, however, we got a virtual safety car, and I decided to send it around my teammate because I know that you get 15 seconds of grace period, and I figured I probably had about that much time to get past my teammate and get into the pits. Lucky for me, I had about 2 seconds left by the time I came into the pits, and yeah, the only good thing I've done other than the dive bomb into turn 1 on the first lap was that pass on Fittipaldi. Now, the worst part is we have to get our wing changed, so it takes forever. And yeah, I finally get out onto the track. The tires aren't even going to last the whole race,
Okay,
unfortunately.
stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
Of course, we're in P20, 2 people behind us in DNF, but to be honest, we started P20. So, give or take, same position. If Fittipaldi stops and we get a safety car in the future, we would come out probably at the same spot. 25 seconds about is the pit stop. Might have been 22, but these fresher tires, I might have been able to catch up to him. Going into lap 15, you can see Fittipaldi 41 seconds ahead of me. Haven't been driving great, and I'm just fiddling around with some stuff on my steering wheel here. I'm not really familiar with the buttons, so I go a little deep into turn 1 here. And then just still getting on the power. I spin out. And of course, I overcooked it into the wall. This time I wasn't lucky enough to keep the car going. Of course, my suspension just broke. And yeah, we're going to retire from the session. It's very unfortunate, but it was a terrible race for me from beginning to end pretty much. And I just wanted it to be over. I was so much work.
That's it then for another spectacular Grand Prix here in Bahrain. And a real champion's drive to take the win. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari. Let's see how the driver standings have changed. And with today's impressive result, Charles Leclerc steps into the championship lead. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari take the lead at the top of the table. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action, but with more races.
So not a great race from us there. Enzo didn't really pull up either. Definitely the worst car going into that with the worst drivers. Of course, we did some damage to the car, but hopefully by next episode, the upgrades will have gone through and we'll have a little bit better of a car. We are starting with the worst settings for car development, so it is, of course, known that we would have the worst car. Max Verstappen went from P13 to P1 with engine penalties, so that's not a bad gig. Thank you guys all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.